Hello, it's Bubba Rocks Media. I'm Cheryl Bubba Mann, and this is the Rising Band Show, my favorite. And I'm really excited to introduce you now to a fellow Northern Ireland band, Survivalist. Welcome to the show.
How are we?
Thanks to have you guys here. And
Good.
look, the new album is out. It is A Place for Those Who Suffer. Congrats on the album. I am now also a fan. I have to say, after listening to it, I am a fan. And what I'd love to first of all ask you guys is, from the album's release itself, what do you hope your fans take, or the message that they get from the album overall?
So I guess we've been making this album for a couple of years now. We've been working on it consistently in the background. The album's called A Place for Those Who Suffer Alone, and I think the main build for it was supposed to be a place of solace, a place of if you're having a bad day at work, you've got something to go back and listen to and trash your room to. If you've gone for a bad breakup, there's something for you to cry and get a pillow and a box of tissues. Like if you just want to party, you've got Radio Bleed. Like we wanted to make sure that there was something for everybody and that there was a place for people to suffer alone.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, we wanted to make sure that people, they could pick up that album, no matter what mood they're in, put it on.
I think even musically as well, you can tell like there's definitely been a change in the band. There's definitely been, right, this is what we sound like moving forward. Expect more of this. I think it's not too far off the first album, but I think it definitely shows that as well. Yeah, a bit better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that was it as well, right? It was supposed to be like a natural progression. We didn't want to. We had the first album. The first album's very metalcore heavy, but it was never really the sound that you and I really wanted to put out. We wanted to do more experimental stuff. We wanted to try different genres. We wanted to we don't just listen to metalcore. No, we listen to deathcore. We listen to death metal. We listen to black metal. We listen to everything. So yeah, hip hop. There's some hip hop in the album and everything. So we wanted to make sure that our tastes were really well represented and that it was a natural progression from 7 as well.
Yeah. Awesome. And actually, you've touched on a few wee things there that we are going to delve into a wee bit later on. But what I also want to do is, I'm aware that there are going to be some new fans listening and watching. So what I always like to do is get a bit of background for the new fans. So if you can, and also I actually find that this is a great question for new bands listening. They always like to hear these stories. I think it helps with hope and showing them they can keep going and not give up. And it's basically how it all began for Survivalists. What is the beginning stories to get you from back then right through to now?
Yeah, I'll take that. Sure, you can jump in. So Survivalist started technically in 2019. We obviously got into 2020 and we got hit with lockdown, so there wasn't an awful lot we could do. So we Nick joined during lockdown as well. So
after lockdown?
Yeah. Was it after lockdown?
Yeah. We played one show without me.
One show. So we spent most of lockdown just writing, and we had some friends jump in on drums and stuff because we weren't really a full band. It was just kind of a project at this point. We were building up our catalogue and releasing some tracks just over lockdown for people to get into, and then our plan was to hopefully put enough marketing and PR and stuff in, and then we'd come out of lockdown and play a good show. So Nick, as he mentioned, he joined, he played the first show in 2021, which was with Worn Out and
that was the first one. Yeah, it was like a Battle of the Bands show they played, which I actually was there, was a fan.
Yeah.
So I saw it and was like, this is great. I wish I was in that band. I'm going to annoy them so much that they'll let me in. I actually played bass first as well, so that full album, 7, is all me on the bass. And it just ended up, right, people are changing, what do you want to do? I had been writing the guitar anyways, so I then naturally transitioned into guitar, and then from there, but yeah, I think it's been quite a long journey, but also I feel like I've been here since the beginning at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're an original member, but you're as original as it gets. We had a bassist before Nick, but like Nick said, he only played one show. He had to leave for family commitments and stuff after that. So it was just nothing bad really. It's just being people moved on and you're
no drama.
No problem. Thankfully, touch wood.
No, that's great. And look, it is always good to hear those types of things. And it shows a lot about evolving as a band too, which we're also going to delve into later. But we're going to play a song. and that is Radio Bleeds. And we're back. And look, honestly, that's a great tune. I really love that one. And what I want to find out from you is just when you were creating it, was that one that was quite smooth, or was it challenging? Were there challenges involved? And I'm always keen to know that behind the song.
So, like I said, I used to play bass. That was the first song I wrote, being the guitar player. This is your job, this is your role now. I think it came together within a day, to be honest. That was one of those things.
Wow.
One studio session?
Yeah.
It was literally one studio session, and then...
I think I always tried to put in mind, like, because I wasn't the guitar player, I didn't want to step on toes, and I was sort of like, this is the idea of no, not all the songs, but like, this is the idea of what I've done. Someone else take it, right, run with it. That was like, okay, I'm going to write whatever I want to play now. And I think you can tell there's definitely a difference of the style compared to maybe some other songs or older songs. But that was me just doodling around. I've got like 30 videos on my phone of it just being like from the very beginning, like kind of picking pattern, and then at the end it's like, oh, 24th fret now. I hate that, but everyone's gonna love it. I'll get it, I'll learn it, I'll do it.
And a big thing with Radio Bleed as well is obviously, Nick's mentioned he'd been writing previously. We all write, so we're fortunate enough to have a band of 4 guitarists. So all 4 of us play guitar, and we all write. We all have our influence. But prior to that, even when we'd still been writing all together, Nick was doing the majority of the riffs. He was doing the majority of the stuff, and he was forwarding them on the guitarists and stuff. And just seeing what you could do when you were given full reins and full control. I had the song sent to me after they spent like a few hours in the studio at night, and they sent it over, and I was like, yep, that's it. Yeah, I was just like, that's it. And we had so we were really struggling beforehand because we had a song that was on the album that was going to be called Trauma Nerve, and we just couldn't make it work. We couldn't have all these riffs, but it felt more like riffs as opposed to a full song. So we just, no matter what we tried, and then we were just like, right, pull it from the album, put it in the bin, move on from it. So we've kept all the riffs. We've obviously got all the stuff sitting there, back catalogue now. We can work on it at some point, but like, yeah, it just wasn't the right song for this album. So we ended up replacing it with Radio Bleed, and which is now the most successful single so far. I don't know why I said so far.
Fine. No, but it's a great song. And I love hearing those wee bits of these stories behind them of how they've come about. And look, what I also want to touch on, and why I'm excited to do this interview as well, is your fellow Northern Irelanders. And I have actually had folks DMing me to interview you guys. You have been raised honestly, you have. And look, I do get a lot of bands who are from here or the whole island in general. And one of the issues that they have is the costs of getting off this island to do shows. So if you have tips and tricks or advice even on like gaining cash and contacts to get off this island, to get over to the UK, get over to Europe to do shows, and yeah, just in general advice from a Northern Ireland experience based from here, you know, how that can help for the other fellow bands here who want to kind of grow and get seen.
Yeah, it's hard work. But it's funny, we were literally just talking just before we got into the interview there. We have a lot of shows coming up this year, a lot. And we obviously need to start booking boats and booking travel and Airbnbs and stuff like that. And we've been spending the past couple of months trying to work out logistics and what's going to be the cheapest way for us to travel. Is it going to be flying? Is it going to be boats? Is it going to be something like that? To be honest, the short answer is no. It's hard. It's expensive. For us to travel as 6 people, our travel alone is going to cost us, and this is just to get to and from, it's going to cost us 800 quid. If we're doing, you know, one of those trips every other month and everybody's having to chip in, it's expensive, and it racks up as well. So my advice for bands, get PRS registered. PRS is free money. If you're getting radio play, if you're getting streams, if you're getting anything like that, you've got money just going down the drain. So get PRS registered. Secondly, make sure DistroKid, make sure whoever your your distribution company is, because if it's the likes of Earache or even if it's the likes of like Bloodbath or for Nuclear Blast, they will have a pot on your account, and you can click on that and you can have that into your bank account within 32 hours. Now, it's not a lot of money. We know like 10,000 streams is like a fiver. So every little helps. And then obviously staying on top of your merch game, making sure that you've all never play a show without merch. If you are going to play a gig, you are losing money.
That's the biggest thing I can say. Like, I'll be the one to keep an eye on merch and bits like that. You have to spend money to make money. You have to have merch. There's so many bands we've played with, and I'm like, right, there's your space, and they've got nothing, and I'm like, you're wasting it. You know, this is your opportunity to actually do something with your time. Like, you don't really get paid for the shows, or maybe if you do or not. Like, you're gonna get paid for the travel at least. Like, cover that with your merch. Make use of you being somewhere else. You know. And I think as well, having good relationships with promoters as well. So if you're going to reach out and try and book, whether it's over across water or in Europe, try and get friendly with them. Try and make relationships with people. People are nice. They'll help you out. They'll say,
The majority of
my house. Here, there's a place I've got to deal with. I'll get you a room. You know, try and make relationships, and actually, you'll see people will help you. You know.
Yeah. 100%. We've had a lot of, like, even like on our last stretch of runs there, we stayed in a place called Dixon House, which is run by, there are free options. So Dixon House it's a musician, and he called Gavin, and he owns a house in England. Yeah, legend. Big, massive, huge house, probably got like 8 bedrooms or something like that. And they'll just put musicians up that they like. If they like you and they think you're good, you get an invitation, you'll go to that house. There are Airbnb, something else we touched on there as well. I think a lot of people just think that hotels is your only option.
No,
absolutely not.
Way cheaper.
So yeah, Airbnb is number one, it's cheaper. Secondly, you're helping a person. Like, you're helping just a random dude or lady who's doing, they're trying to put out their house. You put money into their pockets. It's keeping the cost of the band down. Airbnb, hands down. Be respectful when you're in people's homes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've had a few stories from. I've had a few stories from people that we've hung out with in the past, and they've just been like, "Oh, we party," and it's like, no, you're in someone's home.
Yeah.
Like, or let them make you a sandwich like they should. We stayed with a beautiful lady, Betty, just the most
outside of court.
Yeah, just the most wonderful lady, and she put us up for the night and stuff for Airbnb, and I think he's just sitting on the table, just eating a sandwich she made for him. She's sitting there doing the dishes, and he's like helping himself. It was amazing, and we put a post up about it, thanking her after, and she actually ended up seeing it because it went so viral that like her family members ended up seeing it. Like, yeah, it's cool. It was a nice story.
I love that.
So yeah, there's always ways to think financially, whether it be merch. Another thing as well, be combative whenever a promoter is offering you money. You've got to think about how many tickets you're worth.
I know you're worth,
yeah, know you're worth. Like if it's 50 tickets, you're worth 50 tickets. If you're going to sell 50 tickets at a tenner each, that's 500 quid. If that venue hire is £50 or £80 or £100, there's still 400 quid there. And if the promoter's getting £100, £300, then there's £200 that's sat there in a pot waiting for you. Ask for the money that you're owed. Promoters shouldn't be getting paid more money than the bands that play the shows, and that happens so frequently. Now, we're very, very fortunate that we've got people like James from the Distortion Project that will nearly put the entire pot into the band's pockets if he can. He does it for the scene. And we've got like a lot of other promoters. There's Carlin as well. Carlin's doing Drag Wounds promotions here. He is literally just paying. He doesn't make money. Every penny that goes into the pocket from his shows, he puts it to the band. Some points, like headliner bands that are playing to like 80 people are getting 350 quid in their pockets. You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to make sure people are paid fairly for what they're worth, which is amazing to see. But I hope that helps.
No, absolutely. And just speaking of the Northern Ireland scene, I know the Limelight well. I've been going there a long time. It's a great venue. But as far as bands are concerned, do you still think Belfast should be where they should be starting? I know that there is local scenes, but they're quite few and far between. Should they really just go straight to Belfast?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, probably one of the best places you can go otherwise, obviously, is Dublin. Cork, I think, was very good for like local stuff. Like, they've got the venue for Head Zeppelins, which is like, it's such a small stage, but it's always packed out. Sweat dripping from the ceiling, just energy. Like, that's really good. But like for local, that's going to be 4 or 5 hour drive, obviously.
Yeah.
Belfast is just where people are. You know, there's so many venues to choose from as well, different
Yeah.
sizes. It's not like you're going to be stuck. Can you reach the Limelight or not? There's the OES Centre, there's Voodoo. You know, there's
Sports Club. There's a load of really good places. I think as well, just like Nick's mentioned, they're the places. If you're going to play anywhere in all of Ireland, it's going to be Belfast, it's going to be Dublin, it's going to be Cork, it's going to be Limerick. Now, outside of those 4, there are 2 other cities that we've played that we loved, and both had very good scenes building up in them. So Galway has a nice wee sort of alternative emo goth scene with there's a nightclub there called Absent. Jack's doing good work for his community down there. There's people that's kind of building up. A bit smaller than the rest of the places that we've mentioned, but they are. It's getting there, yeah. And then Waterford was mental.
Waterford blew me away.
Yeah, Waterford blew me away. We played a sold out show in Waterford over Halloween there. 250 odd people were there. Energy from the crowd was insane.
Yeah.
The feedback from the crowd was insane. The promoters were amazing. Colleen and Colleen was fantastic. Yeah. They were brilliant.
They went above and beyond as well. They like sorted all the bands out.
And Mikey as well.
Mixing food and all. Mikey Dublin, yeah.
Yeah, so we I don't know if you've seen, but we broke down. We had a bit of an issue where our van broke down. We ended up sleeping in our van overnight, and then we had to travel back on public transport for 8 hours. It was good. It was good. It was character building, but we all.
Experience.
I don't know how I ended up so positive the entire time. I just had a great time. Just traveling with the boys, but we obviously we incurred a lot of costs for that. We had to get the van repaired. We had to pay all the transport to get back and stuff like that. And Colleen and Mikey, they run the Throne Club down there, and they actually ended up giving us more money towards our costs as well. So we'll never forgive them for that, or forgive them. Well, how dare you pull us out of a terrible situation? We'll never forget them for that, because it was really, really kind, and we do get quite a lot of that. There's a lot of people that want to see us do well and want to help us.
That's awesome. It just shows you as well, though, that the scene here is still going. It is still doing really well, and everybody's there to help each other and support each other. That's always great to hear. Yeah. And that's also encouraging for the new bands too that are listening and watching. So appreciate that, guys. So I want to also ask you guys, right? Your songs are really deep, meaningful. And what I'd love to ask, Gavin in particular, when you're recording them, do you have to mentally prepare as well? Because they are so deep, they are so personal sometimes. So mentally, do you have to get prepared to be able to record the vocal to carry that emotion? Because the emotion, you can absolutely feel it when you're listening. So is there a place that you go, first of all, to prep the vocals and also to prep your mind?
So I think writing the lyrics and writing the vocals in general is a bit of a process for me. So I will lock myself in a room. I will listen to the song 6, 7 times in a row, just continuing to listen to that, to try and find patterns, to try and find melodies. Every single song that I write is from personal experience, or it's something that I connect with, whether it be mental health issues, depression, whether it be even stuff like Radio Bleed, where everybody's had like relationships that have ended or friendships that have ended and they've been bitten in the back. There's a bit of poison in Radio Bleed as well. We've also got other songs like talking about domestic violence, talking about all that sort of stuff. So every time I am writing a song or putting pen to paper to try and write a lyric, I am accessing the innermost depths of my past and anything that we've gone through, whether it be anxiety or stress or anything like that. We try to put that in. So I think when you're processing, or if you're trying to relive any of those old emotions, you're always going to go through a bit of reliving that anxiety or reliving in those situations that you are writing about. So it can be stressful, but it's more about the actual process, and getting into the studio and standing behind the vocal mic to record these lyrics isn't difficult. There's no stress from that at all. Now there is moments where, like, we've got like the end of The Failure of Being, which has all the screaming in the background, all of the sounding very lost and alone in an empty room and shouting and stuff. When I did that, I got a bit emotional whenever I was doing that. I actually felt, because I was singing about and the subject matter of failure being is kind of about realizing your own mistakes and realizing that you were the problem and taking responsibility for that. So whenever we were going through that process, screaming in the room and shouting and doing all those noises, that raw emotion that you can hear at the end of that song is not raw emotion, it's real. Like, it's just me being upset.
Yeah.
But it is good because it's a safe space when we go to the studio, or pretty sure Josh is the kind of guy you can talk to, you know what I mean? So he understands how we want to sound, I think. And there's times me or Josh might even say to Gavin, like, that was a good take. Don't think that was wrong. Like, the fact that you quivered or you know, you're really angry there, do that more, you know, lean into that a bit more. So
yeah, they do, and they do push as well, which is really good. Like, it's like we'll go into the studio. Nick's pretty much there. Recently, will be there at any take they can, but with work commitments and stuff like that, it is difficult. But Nick will try and be there on every single time that we're recording vocals, because he does vocals as well. And they will push me. So if they think that they can get more out of a performance, they'll be like, you can do better than that, and you know you can do better. Or if they think, if I'll be like, that was terrible, let's do it again, they'll be like, no, that was perfect. That's exactly what we need.
Specifically, it was one radio play and I was like, you're angry, like talk through your teeth. Like, do that at the microphone and let me hear it, you know?
Get that grit in there. But yeah, it's cool, and I think it's cathartic as well. I think getting a lot of these ideas and getting a lot of the lyrics and the stress and stuff out of your system and getting that written and having it out on a canvas for the world to see, obviously creates a bit of anxiety as well, because you're leaving yourself vulnerable for people to see. Do you like it? Yeah, do you like it? Just getting to the point now where I'm going to start messaging our fans and being like, you tell me it's nice.
But no, I love that, and it's always good to have people around you as well that do encourage you either way, you know, in a real and honest, and that you don't take offense if they're saying, like, you know what, you need to do that again. Like, it's all there for the same reasons, you know, to get the best out of it. And it does come across. You can absolutely feel it. So I absolutely, like, damn, I was blown away, honestly, guys. Like,
Thank you so
loved
much.
it.
And that's the reaction we want.
Well, yay.
You know, we wrote the album for that. It's the like, we want people to hear it, and we want people to sit down and listen to it and just be and be like, this is different.
But this is why I love music, and this is why, you know, I've always been like an emotional connector of music, and this is why human-made music is the best. And I'll just keep saying it. But like, speaking of, play another song, and that is "Failure of Being." Okay, another great tune. And look, I've actually seen you guys described as groovecore. And what I'd love to know, I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'd love to just get some band names of who you guys are fans of or have been fans of over the years that have helped to create and shape this current sound that you're on. And has there obviously been newer influences that have helped to make changes as a band has evolved?
We'll do one each and quick fire.
Go.
Wage War,
Panther,
Architects,
Slipknot,
Nick Gordon, because that's mine.
Whitechapel,
What's Sleeps?
Kelsey Green.
It's too fast for me.
But yeah, bands like that. So like, we call ourselves groovecore because we didn't want to put a label on. We didn't want to, and also I think you can also be shunned. Metalcore is starting to get obviously a lot more popular again now, but for a while there, it was pretty uncool to be in a metalcore band. From like, metalcore had a really, and same with deathcore as well. They had a rough patch from like 2010 to like 2018, 19, and recently over like the last sort of like 6-7 years, deathcore and metalcore became massive, like huge, bigger than any of the other genres within metal. It's a bit more acceptable now, but we still didn't want to label ourselves because it's not like we've got like, you've got songs like Failure of Being, which is quite clearly a metalcore. It's a metalcore song. And then you've got like Deathbed, deathcore song. You've got it's a bit of hardcore. It's a bit of hardcore in there, a bit of deathcore. Even there's some death metal aspects on the album. There's even some black metal stuff in there as well, with like the end into the place for those who suffer alone, with the big blast beats and stuff like so. We didn't want to put a label on, so we're like, fuck it, just so we fought flip it. We didn't want to put a label on it, so we thought, yeah, I've got it.
I think it covers more like metalcore nowadays is such a blanket term. Like everything is metalcore.
That's
So
true.
it's like, how do we put ourselves aside from all the bands we just talked about? Like,
Mm.
we can take influences from metalcore and from those bands, but we'll also listen to like hard rock. Or I've been listening recently to like Norwegian folk metal when they're in like caves and stuff.
Brilliant.
And I'm hearing like different like instruments that are doing something separate to the main beat. And I'm like, that's interesting to use that and make it metal. How do we change that and actually do something different
Like
than
one
just riff, chord, of course. It's more tuning.
Yeah.
But like, so I try and take influences as well. Like, yes, we're listening to a lot of metalcore bands, but I'm trying to listen to other things so that whenever it becomes metal, it's just something original. You know, it's not just the same kind of riff, same kind of chorus, back and forth. You know, so.
I absolutely love that. And actually, you're touching on something that I'm quite passionate about fighting against, and that is the elitism in metal. I have faced it many, many times, only because I have always been quite free in who I like. I don't care if you don't like that, whatever, you know. And I remember back in the day, obviously I was into Pantera, Sepultura, Slayer, all the big names, right? Cannibal Corpse, all of that. But also, I remember when new metal started, it was Slipknot, Linkin Park, all these guys coming out, and they were not cool to like back then. You weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
But I did, and I was free with that. I didn't care. I loved them all. But now they're, 20 years later, they're now like legacy bands, and all of a sudden they're cool and acceptable. And now it's the next generation of who is not cool. So I would just love your take on it. And, just to show that, and you've obviously touched on it there anyway, just to show that it is stupid and you can like whatever the hell you want. I love Dolly Parton, for God's sake, like what you want to like, but like, I'd love your take on that as well.
Yeah, I think we're all really diverse as well. Like Reese loves his deathcore and his death metal. Lee's a jazz player, what he's done doing the band. I love metalcore, modern metal. Gavin loves hardcore. We all love hip hop. There's not one band you can name that one else will like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't like it. I think nowadays as well there is a lot of. We did a cover of Slipknot there, and there's been the odd comment on YouTube like, "Who asked for this?" And stuff. I'm like, we asked for it.
For you to comment, brother.
We enjoy metal. We enjoy all genres. Like we want to show that.
Yeah, we do see a lot of elitism, especially with the fact that we are a modern metal band. You're always going to get a bit of that. Now, it is a lot less because we play with bands like Suffocation. And yes, the Suffocation crowd is an older crowd and the majority of them stood. But after we got off stage, people bought a lot of merch. People come over and were giving us hugs and getting photos taken and stuff. So people enjoyed the show. It's very difficult to gauge that when you're standing looking at a crowd of folded arms. But we have seen some elitism, but we had actually story from yesterday. I had a friend of mine came to me to tell me that she'd had a gentleman who had started in her work, and she had removed her hoodie to reveal she was wearing a Survivalist t-shirt, and the gentleman was like, "Oh, do you listen to them?" And she was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well, I know them. They're not my kind of thing. It's not heavy enough and it's not dark enough for." And it's like, why does it matter? Why do you need the so what? Like let people listen to what they want to listen to, and if it's not for you, then move on and listen to something else. You don't like not every thought that processes through your brain needs to be heard by somebody else.
So true. And it just gets on my nerves so much. It's like, guys, can we all just learn to chill? Like that's the whole point of music
let
too.
People let people reveal.
Yeah, exactly. And music is what speaks to you. And if it's speaking to you, then it's a good song. It doesn't matter who it is or what it comes from. And actually, I also feel that a band that does have, different types of genres that they like, it does reflect in the music. And I think it always comes across much better, you do end up almost like creating your own genre of its own just from all those influences and not just sticking to the one thing, which I actually love about you guys. And that album too in particular, you can see the diversity that you guys have. You can hear it. And the fact that you're not afraid to experiment and evolve as a band, which is part of being a band. And that's one thing that I'd love to just quickly get from you guys is new bands feel that they have to be perfect right now, like straight away. They have to be evolved already. They have to have the sound right. They have to have the lineup right, everything right. So what can you say to them to let them know that, look, calm down. You don't need it. It's not necessary, and it's okay just to get out there and start having fun.
Yeah, literally just that. You don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to do anything. There's no expectations from anybody else externally from your band, bar you. You are your own biggest critic, and being in a band, we're probably the biggest people. We're harder on ourselves than anybody who's ever going to listen to our music's ever going to be.
That is so annoying. I am so annoying.
No, you're not. You're not. I think we're not, though. Like, I think right with you guys is very, very straightforward. Everyone voices their opinions really well. Now, there was a time in the band that writing was difficult and it was stressful. There was a time when it was like that, but now that we are in the lineup that we're at now, we can fire songs out. So we've got but this is exclusive, but we have an EP ready as well. So we've got
even with that, like, I think leading back to the question, like, I remember whenever we were getting ready for this album, rewriting, whatever we had to rewrite, re-recording, whatever we had to re-record. I'm sitting thinking for a while. I was like, how do I get better after this? Like, I'm enjoying what we're doing so much. I don't think I can top it. I don't think I can actually do more. And then we get back together, we think about ideas. There's 3 songs fired out within a month.
Already, that's the big worry for me as well. Like, listening back to the album, like, don't get me wrong, there are songs even now that I can listen back to on the album and be like, we could have done better there. But there's always going to be that with everybody, and I think sometimes you just need to move on. You need to go, that's the best it needs to be, or you move on, or you get locked into writing an album for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's not
where we were at the time. You can always write more songs.
And I was quite anxious about going back to writing again after, and like, not anxious about are we going to be able to do this right, but just how's it going to sound. We've now got 3 tracks demoed and a 4th nearly. Well, we've got some riffs for the 4th. And to be honest, even the first 2 tracks that we put together from this EP are better than anything we've ever done. They're better than anything that's on the album. Like, the album, like, we love the album, we love listening to it, but we have listened to the album so much now. For us, it's the new stuff that's fresh, and these new tracks that are on this EP are.
And it's not just being it's the best that's new.
They are
just better.
They're
I think so.
It's night and day almost between some of these tracks on the album and some of the EP tracks.
Oh, exciting. And actually, that's really, really good what you guys just touched on there, which is imposter syndrome. Like, that is such a classic trait for pretty much all creative people. And it really is about trying to know when to accept that something is good enough rather than going, oh, I need to change that, need to change this. Yeah. So that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much.
Stop cooking. It's like you can add too many spices, or there can be too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, you need to sometimes you need to be able to step back and be like, the product is perfect where it is. Like, you're not going to Burger King and paying for a gourmet burger. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just going to accept that that's where that product needs to be, and that's Burger King risk.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to play another song, and this time it is Weaponized God Complex. And we're back. Absolutely love that song, guys. Can you tell me, first of all, what is your favorite thing about the song, even during its creative process or the recording process? But is there something about that song that is your absolute favorite and you just cannot handle anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Weaponized God Complex, when we recorded that intro, we were sitting in our producer's bedroom. So we weren't even in the studio. We were just round at his house, and he has a studio at home. And it's a converted bedroom into a studio. So we were around it there, and we were sitting and we were putting this intro together, and we had the vocal, the you use your words as well. We had that part at the start, and that melody line was kind of there from the beginning. But we started putting that slow part together, and I was like, it needs something. There's some realism missing from that. And if you listen in the background, there's birds singing, and you can hear cars, and you can hear realness. You can hear what the outdoors would sound like. We just threw the mics out the window. So we put the mics out the window and just recorded whatever we heard, and then we used that and put that into the background of the song, and reason for that was to kind of give it more of that ambience, that air, that
And again, like you said, not something digitally created. That is real noise. That is something that we've done.
Real birds, real everything. I'll just out a window. We've done a few things like that on the album. There's some of the squeals and pinches and stuff that you hear throughout the album aren't actually pinches; they're cats. We've taken Failure Being, is it?
Denial.
It's either Denial or it's Failure Being. One of those two songs have one of the pitches that we used in that. Denial and Your Deception has a really high pitched squeal, like 2 minutes.
In between the breakdown,
Yeah, but that's Nolly, so that's our producer's cat.
Yeah.
Nolly meowed, and we picked it up on the microphone, and then we pitch shifted it and turned it into like a squeal and stuff like that. So yeah,
I remember we were going through mixing it as well, and it was too low, and I was like, Josh, could you make that 10 times louder?
We need to make sure Nolly's on to hear that. She needs to be on the thank you notes for the album. Right? Thank you to Nolly the cat for the squeal and Your Deception.
Brilliant. That's a cool wee story, too. And that's what I love about your band, like about the whole no fear in experimenting and things like that, because it creates such great things then. So yay, great lessons for the kids listening. So we're going to have a wee bit of fun now with this next question. And that is, there's a bit of heart in it too. And I know you said that you're all guitar players. And I think, Nick, you did bass as well, you said?
Yeah.
But what was the very first instrument that you ever picked up to play? And were you naturally good at it, or did you have to work at it?
Does Guitar Hero count?
Yes, it could.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, he's shockingly good. He's a better Guitar Hero player than he is guitars.
I champed out a whole bar in Nottingham.
Yeah, we were playing. He literally played a full bar. Winner stays on, and there were people queued up to play against Nick.
People were giving me drinks as I was playing, like just sitting on that.
Just smashed an entire bar of Guitar Hero. We're all just standing going. Nick is probably the wonder boy of the band. He's one of those people that if he puts his mind to something and learns it and focuses on it, he'll be incredible at it. Whether it's guitar, skateboarding, bowling, he handed all of our behinds to us. I remember this time. He handed all of our bombs to us. Everyone was that bad. Oh, you ruined everybody. You ruined the entire the whole heap of us. After we finished the album, we went out bowling and we took our producer out just a way to say thank you. Took him out for some food and played some bowling.
I had like more points than double everybody.
It was just smashed the life out of us all. Like there was no point else even playing. We may as well not been there, but yeah.
To the question. Guitar Hero players. Yeah, but no. So I started playing guitar. My dad back in the day always played the punk bands and stuff like that. So he had 2-3 guitars, anyways. I think he just left it in my room by accident one day when I was in primary school.
Big
Ronnie, yeah.
Don't know why that made it sound like he was.
He's not dead.
No, he's not dead. He's still here. It's very much alive.
But it was one of those things I just picked it up and was like, right, what can I do on just the top string alone? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of songs can I learn? And I remember learning like Megadeth, Symphony of Destruction. It's just like 2 or 3 power chords really. Early Metallica stuff. And then I'm like, okay, even some like Bring Me Horizon stuff has like choruses that are on the top string only, you know? So I think I learned very quickly with like playing my favorite songs. So you can try and like just listen to the music. Obviously, you're gonna like analyze what you're listening to. What are they doing? How can I do that? Whether it's by ear or you can look up tabs, obviously. But that's how I kind of progressed, and then it just got easier the more I learned. Yeah, doing that.
For me, I loved music from when I was a kid. I started on recorder, like everybody did.
Oh yes,
recorder, brother. And I did. I loved recorder. Like even starting to play that, and then moving on to like piano and keyboard and stuff. I play piano as well. I play a bit of everything. So I play a bit of piano. I don't play drums very well, but I do play bass and guitar and stuff as well. So they were. Yeah, it was recorder and piano for me, and I recognized pretty quickly, especially with piano, that I loved music, and my teacher at the time as well. Miss Ferguson. I was going to do that again, but she's not dead also. But Miss Ferguson from Priory College, she literally the first time she heard me play piano, she was like, this is a gift you have. There's your musical talent there. And I realized I could sing as well, quite young. Kind of sing. I can make some noises with my mouth. I can do some things.
You can sing.
But yeah, so yeah, I think for me, recorder and piano were the first things, and they then progressed on the guitar. I picked up guitar when I was like 13, 14, and same as Nick, just learned by ear mostly, and then started reading through guitar books and theory books and everything like that to try and teach myself some musical theory. And I know a bit. I'm not really sure with his master's degree, which I never see fabricate, but anyway.
Awesome, thank you. I love that. Look, you guys have actually shared the stage with some big names, including Atreyu. And what I'd love to ask you guys is, when it comes to being able to handle that level, you know, being able to support a larger band like that, is there things that you need to do as a band to prep and be prepared and ready to be able to handle it? Are there tips?
So for us, I think we're all very confident people in general. I lean into bigger crowds and having something to prove.
The bigger the better.
Yeah, like if we're going to play our own show and it's the same people again, I'm like, right, this is fine. It's comfortable. If I'm going to play in front of people that I don't know, in a place we don't know, a new venue, a bigger stage, that gets me more excited. If anything, I would probably think I'm playing better because I want to. You know, it's that one.
I think a big part of it as well is who you're playing with. So we play with Polaris, who in my opinion are arguably one of the biggest metalcore bands in the world. Jamie Hales is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. So he hung out with us the whole night. He watched our entire set. He had nothing but nice things to say after. Same as Matt Honeycutt. Matt Honeycutt from Kublai Khan sat stage side and watched us and came up and had nothing but good things to say about us after, complimenting my vocals. Lovely people. Then you play with bands like Atreyu. And I'm happy enough to throw people under a bus because if you're not gonna respect the people that are opening your show, then you shouldn't be headlining. Atreyu were difficult people to work with. They didn't speak to any of the band. They ignored people when asked questions. They stopped playing their set for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes in the middle of their set because a bag of guitar picks went missing from the stage. Now, you had hundreds of guitar picks.
Just put them somewhere else.
But they were saying like they weren't going to continue playing the show. All of the music that was between the bands was Atreyu, which is cringe. If you paid money to go and see a band, it was cringe. The whole thing was cringe. Atreyu, if you're listening to this, do better.
I love that. I love the honesty too. We need more of that.
100%. I'm not but then again, like I said, you've got people like Matt from Kublai, you've got Jamie from we've had so many. Suffocation.
Harriet recently.
Harriet, unbelievable.
I was like best friends with them all weekend.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Suffocation bringing it, like, brought us into their green room and everything and sat and gave us beers and were telling us like keep doing what we're doing and like really bigging us up. And I think it's really, really, really important that everybody, no matter how big your band is, whether you're Metallica, Bring Me the Horizon, or whether you're Polaris or Kublai Khan, you need ego to do what we do. You need ego to stand on the stage, to preach to people, to sing, to put your art out there. You need ego, but there is the right level of ego, and the right level is not Atreyu. I'm glad I got an interview where I could finally speak about that because I've never really talked about that before. Sure, if they want beef, they got it.
But look, it is important too, and like this is great even for the new bands, starting out, because that you have to be real. I always like realism. Like there's hope, there's inspiration, but there's also reality checks. And sadly that does happen at times. I've heard other stories of this before, so I'm really grateful for you to share that. Appreciate
and I think it's also very good for bands to hear this externally because. What you always get when you read interviews, it's like, oh, you played with this band, how was it? Oh, it was awesome, great. And then you're in a band and you're like, okay, that's class, I can't wait to meet that band. You go and play them and then you're just disappointed. And I think it's good that you keep people's expectations and what reality is, that at the end of the day, you are going to meet good people in the music industry, but you're also going to meet assholes, or you're going to meet nasty people. you're going to meet nice people, and you're also going to meet nasty people. And I think it's good to keep your expectations in the right level so that you never have disappointment. If you have no expectations, then you can't be disappointed.
They are just people as well. Like, we'll meet up, we'll all do sound check together, we'll all watch each other tune our guitars. How you doing? Oh, I miss my girlfriend. I've also got a girlfriend. Like, they're just people. It's not like
I too have a girlfriend.
It's not like this. Like, this is a superstar. How can I buy before you? Like, they want to ask how you doing. Do you want to go for dinner? Where are you getting food? You know, like
the majority of these people, yes, they're in bigger positions or higher positions of power than what you're in. They are people.
Exactly.
Treat them the same way as you deserve to be treated. If you expect to be treated, treat them with respect. If they're treating you with respect, and if they're not and they're ignoring you, ignore them. Don't speak to them. You don't need to pander to these people.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. All right, well, look, we're going to play another song, and this time we're going with "I Tyrant." Look, guys, the album's out, right? And it's doing really, really well. And what I'd love to ask you guys as well is, what song off the album are you most excited for the fans to be seeing in a live performance?
A live performance? Maybe Ruined by Grief. Because it's going to be immense.
Ruined by Grief's a 2-minute song with like 3 lines of vocals in it. It's just a heavy, big breakdown with some Silent Hill. Don't sue us, Konami. Some Silent Hill PT samples throughout it.
Legally, that's not what that is.
Legally, it's not that. They're based on that, but it's
inspired
not that.
By?
Inspired by Hideo Kojima, but not.
But that song for me, like that came together because like a lot of like Wage War albums will have like the song that is just a breakdown. Maybe like a few minutes.
Could like
most of it. It's just like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I'm like, I want something like that. And I remember Reese had some ideas. We were trying to add bits, and I was like, let's just strip it back. Let's just do this, and that's it, and let's repeat it, and then let's make it worse. Like the end of that song, I'm detuning my guitar as I'm playing. That's not any sort of pedal or again any digitally. Like that's me doing it naturally. So for me to be on stage, I want to get the microphone on the floor. I want to be throwing the guitar down. I want people to be like just going crazy. That to me will be one I kind of want to play.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for me it's How Do I Stop Thinking About Death.
I love that one.
Because that's on the album we all have our own. So like you've got like Radio Blade where you put it all together, and Reese had Tyrant and stuff, and like Lee joined quite late into the writing process. The 3 of us had already sort of cracked into it very heavily. Yeah. So we all have our babies. I think Lee's is probably Deathbed. He loves his gangs. Radio Blade is Nick's, Tyrants is Reese's. And I would say Deathbed's probably Lee's, and for me it's How Do I Stop Thinking About Death, because I primarily wrote the song. So the majority of the 5%. Me and Josh composed a lot of that. The synths and stuff at the start were just me and him shouting ideas at each other and being like, this is gonna work. So it was mainly me and Josh to put that song together, and it'll be my little brainchild that's on the album. I want to just see how the response is to it and how people are vibing with it. I would love to see how people are going to respond to this in a live situation, because ultimately a lot of the song is synth, so it's going to be on vocals. So I think it's going to be a very different experience for people that came to see us when they're just seeing me sing for 2 minutes before there's
2 minutes off stage. I can't wait.
They get to walk on stage and do
That's actually one that we're going to be playing out with too. So like it's a great song actually, and we'll talk about that in a wee moment. But we're going to have a bit of fun. This is my favorite of all questions to ask all bands, and I absolutely love it. And it's, if you could take Survivalist to any decade to perform, would you go back in time, or would you take a risk and go forward?
I'd go back in time to the Victorian times and watch somebody have a heart attack.
But bear in mind now, bear in mind that you have to go with the technology available at the time.
At the time,
I think back in the day where we were on the Sandros or heavy
the big like Neanderthal
bonking rocks and hitting each other.
Right, we're going back to
That's
dinosaurs.
gonna sound really good.
I think based on that, then with having the tech, I would much rather go forward.
Yeah,
I'd much rather go forward, and I would want to go like stupidly far forward.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go 3,000 years. Yeah, go. I'm just gonna need it.
download me instead.
I'm just technology at this point, just straight technology.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. See what I mean? Like I always get so much fun out of that one. But like I did say, we are going to be playing out with How Do I Stop Thinking About Death? Incredible song. And what I want to ask first of all is just a bit more about the song, if you can go into it, because I do feel it really does show your range as well, not only as a singer but also as a band. It's an incredible song. So if you just let me know a wee bit more about it.
Of course, yeah. So again, we touched a little bit on this earlier on the call, where a lot of these songs are written from my past experiences, and lyrically they come from my past. So about a year or two ago, I was just suffering really badly with hypochondria, to the point where I think my anxiety was just spiked quite high. I just couldn't stop thinking about what was on the other side, and I think we all face that at some point in our lives. Like we all face that mentality where this is going to
think about it.
Yeah, we're gonna die at some point. Like there's what's beyond that, and that I couldn't get past this in my head for a while, and I really struggled to stop thinking about death. Basically, I was googling it. If I felt that twinge in my leg, I immediately thought I was going to die. So I pretty much makes me sound mental, but I pretty much
been there.
Yeah, this was only a period though, so I realized what the actual cause was, which I don't really want to get into that point, but there was another cause that was leading to this and leading to this stress, and we got past that and we moved on, and now I don't find it so much an issue. Now, do I still think about death? Absolutely, but I've learned to make my peace with it, where now it's kind of it's an inevitability, so I don't really want to let that inevitability stump what I'm going to do whilst I'm here with my time. So with my time, I want to make sure that I'm doing something positive. And ultimately, that's the message in these songs. And if you listen to the end of the track, we won't be beaten, we're not going to be let down. It's supposed to go through that journey to where you are suffering at the start, and then there's the big breakthrough of I don't know how to stop thinking about this, which is where the chorus kicks in. And then the ending is more of a, you know what? It's a middle finger to that, and it's I'm not going to let myself be challenged or beaten by silly mental thoughts.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible song. Like it absolutely blew me away. And like I love that depth as well. And that's where music is relatable for people. You know, you're writing something personal to you that actually relates to a complete stranger. You know, it's incredible. It's the power of songwriting. And look, I'd love to ask you guys as well. We're coming to the end of this. What are you both most proud of so far in your musical journey?
I've just taken over guitar, like fully. That first show I did,
like a duck to water.
It was the Goatstow and Bangers, just at somewhere local to us. So it was literally like, this is a bar I've been to for years. This is where I live. You know,
that's hometown.
I feel like it was meant to be playing guitar all my life. You know, it was not saying I didn't enjoy bass. I fully went into it. Everyone knew I was a great bass player, but like I'm a guitar player. You know, and I think being on the stage for the first time, seeing everyone I know being, which is where I live, and then people liking it, you know, and people telling me it was good, you know, to me, that was very proud. And then just continuing to take the reins, as I said, you know, the writing process now is so much easier. I think I had a lot of anxiety coming into taking over writing, and then once the album's done now, where do we go from here? It's just gotten to a point where I'm finally like I can't do this, you know. I'm still pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I mean you've done fantastic. Like coming in on guitar, there's nothing like when have any of us ever sat down and been like, you need to do better. you've smashed it since you got in, and the reason that this album sounds as good as it does is because of every individual member that's playing on the album. But like, you took the reins on writing the majority of the album and reworking stuff. So yeah, you've done amazing. I think.
Thank you.
For me, the biggest achievement so far, it'll always be the shows, right? So it's always going to be the next big show. So it's about, like, when we did Boomtown Festival, it was Boomtown Festival. And then we've obviously now done a tour with Iarta's Murder. So it's the tour with Iarta's Murder, because that's a tour with a big band. We've now signed with Echelon Artists, who are one of the best booking agents in all of UK and Europe. They look after people like All That Remains, Cabal, Distant. So that's a huge achievement to me. And then getting the album released through Seek and Strike Records, a record company that I've followed for years, who have given us bands like On a Burning Body, Orbit Culture, Abbey Falls, like some of the best bands in our space. And being able to release an album through that record label is an insane feeling. So for me, all of that, and then obviously pushing forward into this year, we've got some really exciting stuff that's not announced yet. So keep an eye on our there's always big things coming. There's always if you ever see on our socials and you see us saying big things coming, we are saying that with our tongue in our cheek. We know that it is a very common thing. Every local band's like, we've got watch this space, big things coming, and most of the time it's just like they announce like a gig.
We bought new strings.
So it's like we thought it'd be really funny that we post that all the time now. So it's just big things coming. It's always big things coming.
Big things are coming.
But the majority of the time, there's something happening in the background. We have something that we're working on. We either have a tour that's getting announced, or we have something. So much to announce for this year.
Large events happening.
Yeah, we've obviously got our UK and Ireland tour coming up here. We've got 3 dates in the mainland, and then we've got 3 dates across Ireland. So those shows are going to be our album launch shows as well. So if you haven't got a ticket, make sure that you get one. And you'll be able to hear our full album being played through in full with an incredible lineup. Existentialist, Suffer, Fetal Juice, which I love saying. Beetlejuice, like
that's 3 bleeps.
You've just said it 3 times.
So that's the lineup, and I think those shows are going to be fantastic. And we'll be playing the full album. We've got a few more surprises and stuff, so we want to make these a big event, and they're going to be our only headliners this year in Ireland. So they will be the only chance that you get to see us play this full album in Ireland this year.
Awesome. You guys are you work really hard, and it really comes across, within the music too, the quality, everything. It's definitely there. And just finally, like, is there anything else you guys are working on even outside of the band that you want to share?
I think outside the band, I don't think.
Anything outside of this band? Everything I work on in my life is in here.
I think I'm a long time skateboarder, so I think as maybe we progress in our creative lives and can eventually leave working, and having a normal job, if you will.
That's the aim.
I would love to see myself one day get involved with the skateboarding community, whether it was creating my own boards or like having a brand in some way. I've always had that in the back of my mind. At the minute, I would spread myself too thin. So
do you still do the skateboarding now? Yeah. Like, are you not worried about hurting your hands?
How sore it is, we'll tell you.
On the edge.
I've been skating probably for like 20 years now, if I think about it. I've been on and off about it for years. There was a while I tore all my tendons in my ankle. That's why I met Gavin, actually. So
first time I met him, he was on.
Yeah, I was a tripod. I was
on glasses. He wore glasses.
Yeah, I had glasses and I had crutches. And this wee kid just like, "Hello, sir. Are you in that band?" Hello.
The amount you've progressed since the first time I met you is mental. You look like a different person.
I got beefed up. I got a new ankle, I guess. I got LASIK in my eyes, so there we go.
For me, I bite off more than I can chew most of the time, so it's probably good that I take on less. I like I've said before, like I help Limelight run some shows. I obviously run Survivalist. I also look after a roster of other bands for a company which I own, which is DC Sound Attack. So that keeps me more than busy. And then I've got a 9 to 5 as well. So I guess for me this year actually is I've said to you guys, I was like, I want to put more time into me, into doing more things that I enjoy, in the just going to watch sports, going to the gym, you know, whatever it is that I want to do, playing the PlayStation,
Small things coming.
yeah, just smaller things coming. But yeah, we're really, really happy with how things are moving. We have, like I said, massive stuff coming to announce, more massive tours, more massive festivals, stuff like that. So yeah, it's very exciting times for us at the moment.
Amazing. And then just the balance then as well of doing a few things for yourself, which is always needed and necessary. No matter how hard you work, you still got to have some me time.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
It's something that I forgot. And this is actually probably my biggest piece of advice to everybody who's in a band. Have your own space, have your own time, do your own things. The next show isn't going to disappear. The next opportunity isn't going to disappear. Your bandmates aren't going to disappear. Like, you don't need to push as hard. And if you do want to push as hard, you push yourself. Try not to push everybody else around you. Do things yourself. I've seen a few bands recently that have just dissipated, fell apart, because internal members have been forcing other members to try and do things that are against their will and they don't want to do it. And it's like, you need to realize that you're in
all the same team.
This should be a hobby. It should be something fun beforehand, before you try to push it and try to make it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people do this because they want to escape their 9 to 5, or they want to escape the mediocrity of the normal life. I think that a lot of that joy and fun gets sucked out by people who are pushing way too hard, or they're pushing other members in their bands too hard. So try and enjoy it. Like, just keep putting out high quality content, keep putting out high quality music, keep grinding, talk to the right people, get to shows, chat to people, network with people, do all that stuff, but try not to lose your mind whilst you're doing it.
Well said. Absolutely perfect. And look, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and being so real and honest. Absolutely appreciated from you. And here it is. How do I stop thinking about death?